Nation, it's another episode of Star FM Exclusive, and for this edition, we will be joined by one of the members of one of the most successful boy bands of all time. For more than 20 years now, they've inspired thousands, millions of people with their music. They've released timeless hits like Every Time, Same Old Brand New You, Like a Rose, and Heaven by Your Side. Exclusive on Star FM. Let's all welcome British singer-songwriter Mark Reed. Hi Mark, this is DJ Gabby and welcome to Star FM Exclusive.
Hey DJ Gabby, it's really good to talk to you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you on the show today, and I'm excited because not only am I a big fan of boy bands, but I was actually a huge fan of A1, and you're on top of my list. A1 is on top of the list. So this is really incredible, and I'm sure a lot of your fans are so happy to have you or to see you on our show this episode. Okay, first of all, how are you doing? And what have you been up to for the past couple of months since we're all under lockdown? I mean, I know it could be different in the UK, but we're all facing the same thing. So what have you been up to?
Oh, thanks for that great introduction, DJ Gabby. That was lovely. And I really appreciate you saying we're first on your list. But I do know that's just because it's alphabetical order and we're obviously first because we're A1. But I still appreciate that. At least we're ahead of the Backstreet Boys. But no, it's really great to talk to you. And you have such a great voice. I love your voiceover voice.
Oh,
it's really
wow.
Fun.
Thank you so
really
much.
Nice. And yes, of course, we're in a very strange, unprecedented time with this whole lockdown that has been going on far longer than I think any of us imagined. I don't know if you've heard. I mean, obviously, there's so much going on in the Philippines. I know you had your State of the Union address last week. I was watching some of that. Over here in the UK, they've just announced that parts of the country are going to go back into lockdown again. So we believed that we were all, the lockdown was eased and relaxed. And then just yesterday, they announced that the numbers have been spiking again. And unfortunately, they've had to put certain parts of the country into lockdown again. But what that means is so many shops and theaters and bowling alleys and cinemas were prepared to open today. And weddings were going ahead. And all these events that people had planned, huge horse racing events, all had to be cancelled with a day's notice. Unbelievable. I mean, it's really kind of turn things on their heads again, and to be honest with you, the country is in a little bit of I don't know, I wouldn't say panic, but we're kind of like, everybody's a bit fed up now, if I'm honest, because it's been going on way longer than we imagined, and yeah, it's really affecting people's lives. So I just want to throw a shout out to anyone who's been affected by this terrible pandemic and let them know that I'm thinking of you, and yeah, wishing you all the best, and I hope everyone's safe and well.
Well, you know, we're hoping that you stay safe there in the United Kingdom, and same as here in the Philippines, and to all our listeners, of course. And I know a lot of your performance and some of your tour, it was actually also postponed because of the pandemic. But it's good to see that you are actually still performing together virtually, and you're doing it through an online event. And
Yeah.
Your fans can actually be part of this. So can you tell us more about this, and how was the experience so far?
Absolutely. Well, we soon realized that at the end of March that we wouldn't be able to complete our tour. So that tour was postponed again with no notice at all, with a day's notice. Right, we won't be doing the show tomorrow night. And those dates have fortunately been rescheduled for 2021. But after a while of just staying at home and realizing, well, we can't perform, what are we going to do? Like many other bands, we're so fortunate to have social media and Instagram Live and Facebook Live, and we're so fortunate to be able to connect with our fans. So after several, we put out a few performances online. We put out a performance of Caught in the Middle. We did a duet of Like a Rose with Morissette, which was really nice. So we posted some performances online, and people were saying, we want more, we want to see more. So could you do a whole concert online? So we had the first one in May, and we called it A1 Take You Home. That's actually just the title of an A1 song on one of our newer albums. And it was a great success, and people loved it. We made it a very intimate event. We spoke so much about our songwriting, about working together, growing up together. It was really funny, and the best thing about it is we could get the fans on as well. Like this, it's done through Zoom. It's like a Zoom meeting, but we had like 300 fans join us for the last one, which is from all over the world. I know that doesn't sound like a huge amount. We're like, when we would do concerts, we would have thousands of people come see us. But online concerts is kind of a relatively new thing, and it's still something we're all getting used to. And you don't really want too many people to join, because then it affects the bandwidth. And you don't want to break the internet, do you? So we had a nice amount of people join us. We did live performances, took their questions, and we're doing it again. So yeah, we're doing it again on Friday the 7th of August. We've got lots more exclusive songs that we've never performed before. We perform on this show. We had a really, really, really cheesy ballad on the A-list album called One in Love. And it's like, all we have to do now is love one another. Sisters and brothers can all live as one. So it's a really sweet song, but we never actually performed that live. So we did it on the first show, and people loved it. So we'll be doing that again on the 7th of August.
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of your fans will be looking forward to that, and especially here in the Philippines, I'm sure there will be a lot of your fans waiting for that. And speaking of the Philippines, the last time you visited our country, that was in November of last year, and it was for a show. You're so loved here in the country, and Filipinos as fans, as they say, is truly one of a kind. So can you share to us any favorite moment with a fan encounter here in the Philippines?
Oh, so many. I have so many amazing fan encounters. But I remember one time we were in Manila, and we were walking. I don't know what we were doing. We were walking somewhere, whether it was for a lunch meeting or if we were just in between performances, and we saw some school kids, right? And they saw us, and they started singing one of our songs, and we were like, hang on, those kids would have been like -20 when we were around. What are they doing? And they knew our songs. So they were singing One Last Song. And if you need me, you show me that your love is. So it's a lovely song, One Last Song. And then they were singing Like a Rose. So I things like that really, really touched me, because it's incredible to think that all generations of people have kind of heard our music. And that's an amazing thing, all these years later, that people are still familiar with a song like a Rose. It's an incredible feeling. And as you said, the last time we were over was for the Playback Festival at the Mall of Asia. Fantastic show, really nice event. And yeah, we can't wait to come back.
That's really incredible. And I was telling you a while ago that I was actually about 6 or 7 years old when you were starting out as a boy band, right? But I first became a fan of A1. I think that was in 2008, and I was like a junior in high school. So that's incredible, So I think a lot of generations really love your music, and your reunion.
Did you have a favorite song?
Every time. Every time, and Heaven by Your Side. That's my favorite.
Oh, I love Heaven by Your Side. I love
those are my favorite songs. And I also like a Rose. But actually, Like a Rose, we actually even used that for one of our class plays. So it's weird, but we actually used it.
Okay,
so
where's the
crazy
footage? I feel like we need to show that now. Insert video here.
Yeah, actually, no? There's no video, because I don't think we didn't have cameras during that time. But yeah,
you're not that old.
I know, but it's crazy, and I still remember that time. I was a junior in high school, and it's a great moment. And
I can still remember the time
Yeah, it's crazy. And seeing you guys reunite with Paul and seeing you guys all on one stage again is just incredible. And the past couple of years were totally a treat for the people who's been supporting you. And you've made music together, but you went on to release your own songs, right? But you're still strong as a band. So tell us about your relationship with band Paul and Christian on over the years. And I was actually talking to Christian and on the show, and he was actually very proud to share to us about your new song coming up. He was mentioning that, and it's so good to hear how supportive you are of each other's achievements.
Yeah, that is a really lovely thing. Christian is one of my favorite people in the world. He really is. He's such a good soul and a good heart. He really thinks of everyone, cares about everyone. Really, really good guy. You can have some great kind of deep, meaningful conversations with Christian because he's very philosophical and he thinks about the bigger picture in the world, and I love that about him. And but our relationships are very different, but also like really, really special. I mean, you have different kind of relationships with each member of the band. As I say, Christian would be my kind of go-to to have like really deep philosophical discussions. Paul would be, the person you go to if you want him to cheer you up because he's a bit mad, he's crazy and is unpredictable. But Ben is as well. Ben is really funny and silly. I think when we get together, we are just like, I know we're all getting on a bit now, but when we're together, we're just like a bunch of kids. We really are. And when we're on stage, it's like no time has passed at all. Okay, you might look at our dance moves and think, yeah, some time has definitely passed. But generally, we still have as much fun on stage together now as in fact, maybe even more, because there's slightly less pressure now. When you're out the first time round. Oh, by the way, it's very sunny here, very bright and sunny in the UK.
It's okay.
I got the sun coming through the window. When we first together as a band, obviously we had major record label Sony. There are certain pressures that you feel as a band to succeed and to it's so important you have a number one, and then you don't even get to appreciate it or enjoy it because you're thinking about when's the next song going to be number one and what about the next one, and so you can't actually enjoy it. But now, because I can remember when Paul got back in the band, he said, I just want this to be like a bunch of old friends having a good time and hanging out. And that's pretty much how it has been. We don't put too much pressure on ourselves to release new music. We've got new music and we've got great songs that we will be putting out, but at the moment it's just about enjoying it and giving the fans that same feeling, that nostalgic feeling that they had when they were kids, when they were 6 years old. And we're also, it's very important to be very supportive of each other's individual projects as well. So I really appreciate Christian's support with my new single.
That's great to hear, and we're happy that that's your relationship. And I was actually watching some of your videos here in Manila, and there was a part when you were actually saying to Paul that I'm not sure, you were like teasing him about you leaving him in the airport, losing him in the airport, and you were like, so Paul, we never want to lose you again. So that was crazy, and that was so cool. I mean, everyone was like, wow. Do you know the reason behind that one? The reason behind that one, DJ Gabby, is because we have a song called Don't Want to Lose You Again. Okay. And that was one of the songs that myself, Ben and Christian released when Paul wasn't in the band. And it was a big hit for us in Scandinavia. In fact, it came second in Norway's Eurovision Song Contest semi-finals. They call it the Melody Grand Prix. And so that was a big song for us. But we never actually had Paul sing it because he wasn't in the band at that time. So when we did the tour and when we came back to Philippines for the reunion tour, we had Paul sing that song. But when we were first coming, as you said, we lost him at the airport. He completely disappeared, and we thought maybe. I mean, actually, I'll be honest. I didn't think this. I think Ben thought that he'd got cold feet and gone home before we even got on the plane. Because it had been so long, but actually he was just really tired. He'd had
had a few beers, and he just fell asleep somewhere in the airport. And I remember when Paul falls asleep, he is a deep sleeper. Like nothing will you could shake him. Paul, okay, of course you wouldn't do that, but Paul, wake up. He's a deep sleeper, and he was gone. He was out, and we sent messages over the system to try and find him. And we really thought that he was not going to come to the Philippines. But fortunately, he got on a later flight once he woke up. He got on a later flight and joined us for the press conference in Manila. So all worked out in the end.
Well, that's great to hear. And such a nice story. Love that. Okay. Well, anyway, I know that aside from you being a singer, you're also a great pianist, and you were actually part of some musical plays. Tell us more about your love for this, and is there anything coming up?
Oh, wow, I wish I could answer that. No, I love all kinds of performing and entertaining. Ever since I was like 2 or 3, I started playing piano. As soon as I could crawl onto the piano stool, I was like playing away. Fortunately that has led me to obviously be an A1 and to do lots of shows, musicals. And one thing that we have over here every Christmas is like a big Christmas show. It's called pantomime, so you do like Cinderella, you do Snow White, all the big fairy tale classics.
Yeah.
And I'm booked to do a show this December. But at the moment, we have no idea whether that's going ahead. Yeah. We have no idea. I mean, how are things over there? I mean, what about like concerts and shows and musicals? Are they still going ahead in the Philippines, in Manila? What's happening there?
We're all, since it's, the pandemic, and then there's this lockdown, and everything's in quarantine, so everything is postponed. Every concert, every gathering is postponed. So we're not really sure if these things will be pushed maybe next year, probably. But we're hoping that your shows will push through, maybe not this year, but possibly next year.
How many people can gather in one place in the Manila at the moment?
Probably around 10. Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very intimate concert.
Yeah. And actually, gatherings are allowed, but there's this, you really have to do social distancing. So that's really important. And
can I just say that the amazing A1 fan groups, A1 Philippines and Philippines Reunited, they have made these great A1 masks.
Yeah, I saw
really
that.
Cool. They're really nice. So sweet. I want one. I need one. I haven't got one yet.
Yeah, I'm sure if your fans are going to be able to watch this, they're going to be sending you those face masks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so anyway, going back to your boy band, as I mentioned earlier, you're one of the most loved and most popular boy bands of all time, and you've achieved so much. But if there was still something that you wished that could happen to A1 or on your solo career, what would this be? And can you tell us more about that?
I think something that changes as you get a little bit older, you have different priorities in life. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not as like ambitious, I'd say tenacious, as I once was. And now I just appreciate everything I get to do, and whatever happens and whatever comes up, I'm just really grateful for it. And unfortunately, 20 years on, I am still doing lots of shows, both with A1 and both on my own. So in terms of ambition, I just want to be able to do what I do for as long as I can, and most importantly, enjoy it. And if other people enjoy it, then that's fantastic. And as you mentioned, we have an amazing, loyal fan base, and they really are the lifeblood of A1. They are the beating heart of what we do. And obviously, without them, and particularly the fans in the Philippines, without them, well, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing. And so as long as people want to hear us play, we'll be here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you've been in the business for like more than 2 decades, and right now you're still pursuing the thing that you love to do. So with the people closest to you, so what could be your message for rising artists of this generation? And can you share something you've learned over the past year, over the years while being in this business?
I'm getting that sun glare on my face again, aren't I? I would say just try your very best to enjoy it as much as you can, and don't pander to people, and don't kind of when it comes from a creative perspective, just really trust your instincts and follow your what you want to do musically, creatively. Don't feel like you have to please too many people, because it's impossible. You can't please everyone. So if you just do what is in your heart and write songs from the heart that are very real and honest and true, I think you'll find your audience and people will connect with you. And just most importantly, enjoy it. Because I think the first time around, we didn't get the chance to really appreciate everything that was going on, because it all happened so quickly. So all I would say is just enjoy those moments. Enjoy every special moment and look back on it. And ultimately the word for me, and I'm sure Christian would say the same, is gratitude, grateful. Just, love what we've had the opportunity to do. So but stay focused and determined on what you want to present, because you're always going to get somebody say, you should be like this, you should be like that, you should be doing this. It's even crazier when you're a boy band, because when you're a boy band, people there is a certain boy band sound, a certain boy band style. But you don't have to fit a mold. You can break the mold, do whatever you want to do. Do you think anybody's telling Billie Eilish what to do? No, she's completely writing her own story, and obviously with a lot of input from her brother Phineas. But she's writing her own story and creating in a way that comes across as so unique. And if I was to look back at the past, I probably wish that we had tried to be ourselves a little bit more, rather than you got the record company saying you're this, you got the management company saying you're that. Because when we changed style and we did Caught in the Middle, and we stopped dancing and we became a playing band, that was a big risk. We risked losing all of our fans, because that what made us famous was that dancing, singing boy band. And then all of a sudden we were like, things so different now, you're gone. It was totally different, but it paid off, and it's probably it's helped us have the longevity that we have. So this was a very, very long piece of advice that maybe you can edit together to just like a really short, useful bit of advice.
That's so great to hear. Okay, so anyway,
I'll try and add one more thing to it, which I feel like I left out. Shall I drop that in now, or do you want to ask? Yeah. And also, I'd say the most important thing is interacting with your fans. Yeah. In fact, over the last 20 years, that is probably the most important thing. Never take that for granted. You've got to consistently invigorate your fan base and connect with them. And we're really fortunate that we're able to do that now via, whether it's TikTok, whether it's, any of them. You can now really interact with your fans. And I think that's probably any band that takes that, or any artist that takes that for granted, I don't think they're going to have a very long career. I see a lot of videos of like Justin Bieber, like being quite unpleasant to his fans. And I know he's not like that all the time, but there are moments where I go, hey pal, you're really lucky to have the fan base that you have, and you should respect that and you should appreciate it, But yeah, you can catch people on a bad day. So who knows, maybe some of those videos that you've seen of him, he may have been caught on a bad day. But I would say another valuable bit of advice is just appreciate your fan base.
That's great to hear, and I agree, because you guys, you've been doing that, and especially with this the online event that you're doing, right? You're making them involved, and I've been seeing your social media posts, all of you, and you're very active and you're very responsive to your fans, which is great, and people love you for that. Okay, so anyway, what's next for Mark, and what should we watch out for? I know there's something coming up.
It's called Smile Again. And it's quite different. But the last song that I released was a song called Where Were You, which was specifically about the lockdown, specifically about being in isolation. And I thought the perfect song to follow that up with would be a song about going out into the world again, finding yourself, and you know, and having the confidence to face the world again, having been in a really bad place, and now you're ready to just smile again. And that song, I think, is going to really resonate with people, and I'm very excited for people to hear Smile Again.
Yeah, we're very excited, and I was actually also listening to "Where Were You When the World Stopped." That was actually a very timely, a very beautiful song, especially in this time of pandemic. And I know that a lot of your fans were actually part of the video. Okay, so anyway, finally, what is your message to everyone who's listening and watching right now? And do you have a shout out to your Filipino fans?
Absolutely, absolutely. My message is just, you know, thank you so much for all the incredible support over the years. You have no idea how much it means to us. I hope it comes across in my music how, you know, grateful I am of our incredible fans, and I hope that we continue to inspire you the way that you inspire us. That's all I can really ask for, and can't wait to see you all again soon. I know we obviously we can't be in the same place at the moment, obviously, but we are planning to come back over, and really can't wait to see you then, and it will hopefully be next year.
Great message, Mark. Okay, but before we end this, we're going to be doing this Star Fast Talk. So we have to answer my random questions fast. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's begin. Favorite Hollywood actor?
Johnny Depp.
Favorite British actor?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Okay. Favorite British actor?
Let me think. I'm gonna at the moment I'm gonna say Tom Holland.
Okay. Favorite Star Wars film?
That's a hard one. I'm gonna go Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay. One of my favorites. Favorite Star Wars character?
That was a bad Chewbacca impression.
So Chewbacca.
I'm gonna say Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. Okay, my favorite is Anakin.
Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was this is actually a fast talk, but I actually saw your video. You were playing the piano with your, was that you? That was the Darth Vader costume and everything.
Yes. I'll link into it. I just bought a green screen, and of course the first thing I thought of was, I'm going to be Darth Vader playing piano on the Death Star. Woo!
That was so cool. Okay, anyway, going back to our Star Fast Talk, an A1 song that you wish to remake as your own single.
Good question. Oh, a song on the third album, Make It Good, called Make It Through the Night.
Make It Through the Night. Mm-hmm. Okay, who's the best A1 singer?
We're all the best in different ways. You can't pick a best. I'd say all on the same level.
Mm-hmm. Who's the best A1 dancer?
We're about all the same now, I'd say, actually. I don't know. Who's the best? Let's say Paul.
Okay. Favorite Queen song?
Oh! Don't Stop Me Now.
A country
All the show must go.
Yeah?
All the show must go on.
Okay. A country you never visited but would love to do a concert in?
I'm going to have to say Russia.
Russia. Okay. A legendary singer you would love to do a collaboration with?
Paul McCartney.
A new artist you would love to do a collaboration with?
Oh, where do I start? Lots. Dua Lipa, Phineas Eilish.
Okay. Christian also said Dua Lipa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. If you didn't pursue music, where could you possibly be now?
A game show host.
What's your favorite song at the moment?
Oh, favorite song at the moment. Smile Again by me.
Yeah. Okay. A song that you will never get tired of listening to.
Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra, ELO.
A music genre you never got into but would love to try.
Acid jazz.
Jazz. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can only choose one: singing, playing the piano, theater acting. Playing the piano. Okay, well, with that, thank you so much, Mark, for being part of our show. We're definitely looking forward to more success for you and for A1, and the Philippines can't wait to see you again.
Thank you so much, DJ Gabby. It's been really, really nice chatting with you. That was great. I enjoyed the super fast round. That was great.
Star Nation, that was A1's Mark Reed. And for our viewers, Mark will be back for one special performance, so stay tuned. Once again, my name is Star DJ Gabby for Star FM Exclusive. Take care.